This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute professional medical advice. Please consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare specialist before starting any new vitamins or supplements mentioned in this video. Use of this information is at your own risk. You can eat a dozen eggs a day, but if you are over 60, your leg muscles are already rejecting the protein. Right now, a microscopic process is suffocating the fibers in your thighs and calves, pulling you one step closer to a wheelchair every single month. By the time you feel that familiar tremble in your knees, it might be too late. But there is one bizarre, everyday fruit that violently reverses this process and forces your legs to rebuild. You can eat a dozen eggs a day, but if you are over 60, your leg muscles might already be actively rejecting the protein. Right now, a microscopic and entirely silent process could be suffocating the muscle fibers in your thighs and calves, pulling you one step closer to a devastating fall, a shattered hip, or a wheelchair every single month. By the time you feel that familiar, terrifying tremble in your knees as you walk down the stairs, or notice the heavy hesitation before you stand up from your favorite chair, it might be too late to reverse the damage simply by eating more protein. Welcome to EldraFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. We are here to uncover the hard truths about aging that mainstream advice often overlooks, so you can maintain your freedom and dignity. Everything you have been told about protein and aging legs is likely putting you in quiet danger. If you are over 60 and still relying exclusively on a morning plate of eggs or a standard protein shake to keep your lower body strong, you are walking straight into an inevitable, life-shattering decline. Your muscles are literally wasting away while you eat what you thought was a perfect diet. Let us talk about the psychological weight of losing your legs. It is not just about physical weakness, it is about the shrinking of your world. When your legs lose their power, your confidence shatters. You stop taking walks in the park, you avoid stairs, and you start scanning every room for a place to sit. You become a prisoner in your own body, all because of a massive misunderstanding about how aging muscles process food. We are conditioned to believe that protein is the ultimate savior. We are told that as long as we eat our chicken, fish, and eggs, our bodies will handle the rest. But this is a dangerous half-truth. Today, we are going to rip the Band-Aid off and reveal the exact biological flaw that is starving your lower half. More importantly, we're going to expose a specific combination of everyday fruits that forces your dying leg muscles to wake up, open their cellular doors, and absorb protein again. If you care about staying strong, upright, and fiercely independent, and if you refuse to become a burden to your family due to a preventable fall, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel right now. Your support gives us the immense motivation needed to continue researching and creating these deep, life-changing videos for you in the future. Now, before we dive into the fascinating science of how your legs actually work after 60, I have a quick question for you to think about. I want you to be completely honest with yourself about your current mobility. When you need to stand up from a deep, comfortable sofa, which of these best describes you? Option A, I can push myself up easily using only the strength of my legs. Option B, I have to lean forward, use my arms to push off the armrests, or use momentum to finally get on my feet. Please go to the comment section right now and type A or B. This small self-assessment is the first step in taking your life back. Why do your legs fail first? And why does your current diet feel so completely useless? To understand this, we must look at a phenomenon that completely shifts the landscape of senior health. It is a condition known as anabolic resistance, and it strikes the lower body with a particular and ruthless severity. When you were younger, every gram of protein you consumed acted as a loud, clear command to your body to build and repair muscle. If you walked miles, climbed stairs, or carried heavy groceries, your legs sustained microscopic tears. In your 30s and 40s, your body rushed protein to those areas, fixing the damage overnight. You woke up stronger. But after the age of 60, your muscle fibers essentially go deaf to that command. The signal that protein sends is no longer loud enough to trigger the repair process. This anabolic resistance is not a character flaw or a lack of effort on your part. It is a profound biological barrier. But anabolic resistance is only the first wall your body builds against you. The second is chronic, low-grade inflammation. Scientists often call it inflammaging. Imagine your leg muscles as an engine, and this inflammation as a slow, corrosive rust that eats away at the machinery day after day. It is a silent fire burning inside your tissues, creating an incredibly hostile environment. Even if the protein manages to bypass the anabolic resistance, it steps into a war zone where it is destroyed or wasted before it can rebuild a single fiber of your quadriceps or calves. This is why you can eat a perfect, high-protein diet and still feel your legs growing thinner and weaker. The inflammation actively blocks the nutrient signaling that your lower body desperately needs to survive. Furthermore, we must address the physical structure of your cells. As the decades pass, the membranes surrounding the muscle cells in your legs become stiff, rigid, and inflexible. Think of these membranes as the doors to a fortress. When you are young, these doors swing open easily to let nutrients in and flush waste out. Over the age of 60, those doors rust shut. The poor blood circulation that often accompanies aging only compounds this tragedy. Your heart is trying to pump oxygen and amino acids down to your legs, but the pathways are narrowed and the cellular doors are locked. The protein from your morning eggs is left circulating in your bloodstream with nowhere to go, eventually being filtered out as waste rather than becoming the sturdy muscle that keeps you out of a wheelchair. You are providing the building materials, but the construction site is closed. To save your legs, you do not necessarily need more protein. You need a way to extinguish the inflammatory fire, improve the blood flow, and soften the cell membranes. You need to reopen the gates. They act as the biological messengers that force your body to accept the nutrition you are giving it. They dismantle the resistance from the inside out. Once you understand that your leg weakness is not a lack of protein, but a failure of delivery and absorption, everything changes. The feeling of heaviness in your steps is not a life sentence. By altering the environment inside your lower body, you can command those fibers to start pulling in nutrients once again, setting the stage for a remarkable return of balance and power. Imagine waking up in the dead of night, your calf muscle twisting into a hard, agonizing knot that leaves you gasping for air and clutching your leg in the dark. This sudden, violent cramp is not just a passing discomfort. It is your body screaming that the electrical signals commanding your lower extremities are severely malfunctioning. To stop this terrifying loss of control, we introduce the fifth crucial food for your lower body, which is jackfruit. Many older adults completely overlook this tropical fruit, not realizing it holds the exact combination of nutrients required to stabilize those chaotic electrical impulses. Jackfruit delivers a very specific matrix of potassium and magnesium directly to your muscle fibers. These are the critical minerals that dictate how safely and smoothly your leg muscles contract when you stand up, and how properly they relax when you lie down. When your legs are starving for this precise mineral balance, your muscles seize up unpredictably, making even a short walk to the kitchen feel like a perilous journey. By integrating jackfruit into your routine, you are effectively rewiring the electrical grid of your lower body, giving your legs the fundamental stability they need to support your weight without suddenly giving out. But muscle function is only half of the equation, because the strongest quadriceps in the world are entirely useless if the joints they are attached to are slowly crumbling. This brings us to the fourth essential food, which is the humble guava. If you feel a sharp, grinding stiffness in your knees every time you bend down or stand up, you are experiencing the dangerous degradation of your connective tissue. Guava is an absolute powerhouse against this structural decay. It contains extraordinarily high levels of quercetin, a natural plant compound that aggressively hunts down and neutralizes the localized inflammation attacking the tendons and ligaments around your knees and ankles. Beyond silencing the pain of inflammation, guava is packed with an immense concentration of vitamin C, which your body absolutely demands in order to manufacture collagen. Collagen is the vital biological glue that anchors your thigh and calf muscles safely to your bones. Without a constant supply of this structural protein, your tendons become brittle, fraying like an old rope under the tension of your own body weight. Eating guava provides the raw materials your lower body desperately needs to rebuild that connective tissue. Think about the sheer terror of standing at the top of a staircase, looking down, and not trusting your knees to hold you. Guava helps eliminate that fear by reinforcing the biological shock absorbers in your legs, allowing you to step down with ultimate confidence rather than crippling hesitation. If your joints are secure but your legs constantly feel like they are encased in concrete, making every single step feel like a monumental physical effort, you are facing a terrifying internal crisis of oxygen deprivation. Many seniors over 60 describe this agonizing sensation of dragging lead weights, wrongly assuming it is just a normal, unavoidable part of getting older. In reality, the tissues deep within your calves and thighs are suffocating. To breathe life back into these exhausted limbs, we turn to the third vital food, dried mulberries. This unassuming fruit holds a miraculous combination of plant-based protein and high-availability iron. Iron is the absolute core component required to build the microscopic vehicles that transport oxygen through your bloodstream. When your iron levels drop, your legs are starved of oxygen, causing rapid, uncontrollable muscle fatigue that drastically increases your risk of tripping over a rug or a curb. Dried mulberries flood your system with the iron necessary to restore this vital oxygen flow, while simultaneously delivering resveratrol, a powerful compound that actively repairs the microscopic energy factories inside your aging cells. Suddenly, the agonizing heaviness lifts, and walking feels natural again, instead of feeling like a forced, painful march. Yet all the oxygen and protein in the world cannot save your legs if those nutrients simply bounce off the exterior of your muscle cells. This is the exact crisis we solve with the second critical food, which is the avocado. As we established earlier, the natural aging process causes the protective membranes surrounding your leg muscles to become dangerously stiff and hardened. You can consume all the high-quality protein you want, but if those cellular walls remain rigid, the nutrients will never penetrate the muscle tissue to perform their life-saving repairs. Avocado acts as the ultimate biological key to this devastating problem. It is densely packed with specialized monounsaturated fats that physically interact with your cell walls, softening them and restoring their youthful flexibility. It effectively greases the hinges of your locked cellular doors. When you consume a few slices of avocado, you are radically altering the permeability of your lower body's muscle tissue. You are finally opening the gates, allowing the protein from your diet to rush into the fibers of your thighs and calves. By restoring this cellular flexibility, avocado ensures that every meal you eat actually contributes to rebuilding your independence, rather than just passing through your system while your legs continue to irreversibly weaken. Finally, when the inflammation is calmed, the oxygen is flowing, and your cellular doors are wide open, your legs are completely primed for the most critical phase of all, which is deep tissue reconstruction. This brings us to the number one food you must integrate into your diet: dried apricots. This specific fruit holds the biological blueprint for reversing the catastrophic muscle loss that leads to a loss of independence. Dried apricots are incredibly dense in beta-carotene, potassium, and a unique class of plant compounds that aggressively target and stimulate your satellite cells. These specialized cells are the microscopic architects of your lower body. When you walk up a steep driveway or carry heavy items up a flight of stairs, the muscle fibers in your thighs and calves sustain tiny micro-tears. In a youthful body, satellite cells rush in to patch these tears, making the muscle thicker and more resilient. But after the age of 60, these repair cells essentially fall asleep, leaving your muscles damaged and progressively weaker. The potent nutrients within dried apricots forcefully wake these satellite cells up, commanding them to resume their critical repair work. Clinical observations of seniors who regularly consumed these specific compounds revealed startling improvements in both walking speed and explosive lower body power. They were able to rise from a seated position with newfound ease and confidence. This is not some mythical cure. It is the exact biological response your body has been desperately waiting for. Every single day, your legs take the hardest physical beating of any muscle group. If you refuse to support them at this deep cellular level, you are surrendering your mobility to the slow, unforgiving decay of age. You do not have to accept the narrative that growing older means inevitably growing weaker. By feeding your body the exact tools it needs to rebuild those essential fibers, you are directly protecting yourself against the devastating, life-altering falls that force so many vibrant individuals into assisted living facilities. You possess the power to rewrite your physical future, starting with your very next meal. The most profound lesson we can extract from this biological reality is that your body never truly stops fighting for you. It simply waits for you to provide the right ammunition. For decades, society has pushed the terrifying narrative that physical decline is an unstoppable avalanche. We are told to accept the heavy legs, the stiff knees, and the loss of balance as the unavoidable taxes of growing older. But the truth is far more empowering. The weakness you feel in your lower body right now is not a permanent life sentence. It is an urgent, incredibly clear message that your current approach to nutrition is no longer serving your aging cells. The profound takeaway here is that you hold the ultimate authority over your physical independence. Applying this knowledge to your daily life does not require drastic, miserable diets or exhausting hours in a gym. It starts with the quiet, powerful choices you make in your kitchen. It means shifting your mindset from merely eating to actively nourishing the machinery that keeps you upright. Tomorrow morning, when you prepare your breakfast, look beyond the traditional protein. Add a few slices of avocado to your plate to soften those cellular walls. Keep a small bowl of dried apricots or mulberries on your counter to snack on, ensuring your repair cells and oxygen pathways are constantly fueled. Blend a piece of guava or jackfruit into your daily routine. These are tiny, manageable habits that compound over time, slowly rebuilding the biological shock absorbers and powerful muscle fibers in your legs. You are not just eating fruit. You are actively constructing a fortress around your mobility. You are choosing to walk freely, to navigate your home without fear of falling, and to step out into the world with undeniable confidence. Before you go, I would love to hear your thoughts on this approach to protecting your lower body. Which of these 5 fruits are you most excited to try adding to your meals this week, or do you already have a favorite way to prepare them? Please share your answer in the comments below so our entire community can exchange ideas and inspire each other. Finally, if you found this information valuable and want to see more deep dives into protecting your health and independence, please hit that subscribe button. Your support is the driving force that motivates us to keep creating these vital videos for you.